to throw. That is caught. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. Oh, he fakes a spike. And that is going to wind up incomplete. So they try to hit him with something you don't see too often, but it doesn't work out.
Can we go back to the days where if you tapped your wrist as a quarterback, that just meant you're going to spike the ball, not fake spike it and try and get something downfield? They just tried it there, and it wasn't successful, but I know what you're thinking, right?
Dan Marino, Jets. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to add on to that lead. Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. They'll roll him out right. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further.
Jaguars 6. Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Now at the 26. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They go play action with Lawrence. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
They'll take over at 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here we go, shot.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Back to throw now on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Now inside the 25. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points.
At the 13-yard line.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. KJ Osborne, 57 yards. And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. So illegal touching, Charles, on the outside.
And a lot of people wonder if the quarterback should see that. No, it's not his job to understand if the receiver's inbounds or out of bounds. You expect him to be there. But if he takes a step out, he essentially becomes ineligible. And that's not a tough one for an official to see, especially one stand.
There he goes, left side. Dearness Johnson, one man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel, but they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position.
Taking it right down Broadway. Inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, 63 yards. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
That's good for the Jaguars. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Lawrence to throw. And this one into the hands of Ingram downfield. Touchdown, Jaguars! Evan Ingram, 59 yards. And the Jaguars get a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a big avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of it, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. And quickly they get to the line. They go play action now. Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 51 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Sliding out of the pocket. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lawrence. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Lawrence. That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Again, it's Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jaguars are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Lawrence and the Jags offense staying out there. They'll go for 2 here. Back to throw again. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion. Caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Still just a 2-score game in the third quarter, but they're going to go onside kick here anyway. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show, because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. On second down, Lawrence, a short throw to Ingram. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Here we go. That's it, 3rd and 4.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Hey, here we go, baby. Here we go.
Here's Lawrence. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison, 55 yards. And the Vikings use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
There we go now as they will again try for 2. They'll run it with Madison. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Out of the end zone comes Johnson.
Ernest Johnson on the return. The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Rip, 23.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
6 yards.
Easy.
On first down, Lawrence looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Open man downfield is Ridley. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Jaguars have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Down the left sideline. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, he was looking for just a short throw. Kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick 6.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Well, this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Kene Nwangu. He might take this all the way. And he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. What a return, and they've taken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now back to throw. And he is into the end zone. The conversion attempt is good, and that'll give him an 8-point lead here in the 4th.
Bring Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 22.
This is first and 10.
11, 11.
Lawrence. Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. First and 10 here. Here's Lawrence. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Back to throw. Lawrence. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Mekhi Blackman's got it. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's the defense as a whole.
And he loses the football the second time. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. 3rd and 5. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. A gutsy decision there going for it on 4th, but they got it, and that likely puts an end to this one.
Indeed, it was gutsy because there's so many other options they probably could have exercised in that situation.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Never leave the house without